All right, welcome, friends. The last time we saw Tawana, she told me she has never known her true identity. Tawana's Aunt Julie told her that Roger, the man she believed was her father, was actually not her dad. Tawana's mother, Carol, was with another man named Gerald around that time, and Julie believed that he was Tawana's real father. After enduring 35 years of jokes at Tawana's expense, we sat down with Tawana to help her discover the truth. Let's watch a clip from the last time Tawana was here. So growing up, you did not know who your father was?
I knew what they said.
Okay,
Roger's
which was?
your dad.
This is a gentleman named Roger is your
Gentleman
father.
named Roger is my dad. That's what I knew. When I was 7, Gerald was dating my mom. And then 16 to 18, I don't really remember how old I was. And my Aunt Julia was like, no, it's not a joke. Gerald's your dad. And I'm like, whoa, why am I just learning this? I should not be sitting here on a Karamo show asking who my dad is.
That's true, and I'm very sorry. That was your mother's job to tell you.
This DNA outcome is going to either give you clarity or is going to, unfortunately, still keep you lost. Are you ready for this moment?
Honestly, I'm ready.
What does it say?
It says Gerald is not your father.
I can support you on this journey. We have a whole team here who can support you to get these answers if you want the support.
I do.
Because you don't deserve to feel lost.
No.
So as you're on this journey right now, just know that there are people that love you, who want to give you something, but I can get you the answers. Listen, y'all, I really meant it when I told Tawana I would help her on this journey. So everyone, please welcome Tawana back to the show. You're so cute.
Thank you.
I already hugged her backstage. I ran up to her and was like, "Hey, my love."
Yeah, thank
How
you.
are you?
I'm making it.
Yeah.
I just want to say thank you because when you told me you would help me, I was just like, yeah, okay. But when you actually called me back, like, we ready to help you, we want to help you, yeah, that touched my heart.
I got you, sis. I got you, bro.
I really do appreciate
No,
it.
we got you. We got you here. We got you here. Because to be very honest with you, it broke my heart that, here you go, love.
Thank you.
It broke my heart that you felt lost.
Yeah.
I didn't want that for you. You didn't deserve that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So let's get into it. Who are you here with today?
Today I'm here with Geneva, who could possibly be my sister. She's Roger's daughter, and I have my son in the audience somewhere. And basically, I'm happy that she was able to say, yeah, I'll help you to see if Roger is your dad. I'm hoping the results are ended today, and I know who my dad is because I'm just still left in the cloud, and I just want the answers that I need that I'm happy that you're helping me find.
Yeah, so this was another man that your mother had said could potentially be your father.
So originally, like I said, and before, all I knew was Roger. Roger's your dad. He just wasn't there. He just walked out of your life when you were 4, which I remember him going out the door with a radio of mine and me crying for it. And then as an adult, I remember it was like 2014, my mom had got in contact with him because I was having some living situation issues. And she got in contact with him. He was like, yeah, I got a place in Georgia. Come on down to Georgia. So I went down to Georgia. I stayed with him for about 30 days. That was an experience.
Yeah.
When he passed away, I didn't go to the funeral or anything. I just didn't feel like his family really felt like I was his daughter. They didn't include me.
Well, listen, everyone, I think it's time to talk to Geneva about her perspective on all of this. Joining us now from Decatur, Georgia, is Geneva. Friends, welcome Geneva to the show. So, Geneva, thank you so much for being here. Why did you agree to take the DNA test?
Well, Tawana called me, and she said something about, well, I just found out that Roger may possibly not be my father, and did I mind doing a DNA test for her? And right away, I was just like, yes, I would do it. That's just the type of person that I am. I would do it. I was quite shocked when she said that because I've always just assumed She was my sister.
Yeah.
So I was taken a little back, but she told me that, she just wants to find out who she is. And I feel like everybody should know who they are. So,
Agreed.
um,
Geneva, I have to ask you, what was your relationship growing up like with Roger, your father?
our families are entwined a little bit. My grandmother and both of my grandmothers were best friends. Roger had his demons. He was not there for us. I don't really ever remember him being in my household to begin with, but we remained. I always knew he was my father. When he could come around, he did come around. That's what it was. He wasn't there for me. So I know he wasn't there for Tawana as well.
Wow.
And that's just how it is.
Yeah, so both of you had that similar experience where both of you had basically abandonment at younger ages.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
Geneva, did you know that your grandmother Grace denied Tawana?
No, I did not.
Yeah.
As far as I was concerned, it's just she was just never around. And it was kind of understandable that she's not around because of my dad's situation. Technically, I probably wouldn't have been around either if our families weren't so close.
Right.
Even though my dad, Roger, wasn't there, I still remained going over to visit, family time, things like that, vacations. So,
Right. That's the part. I didn't get
know.
that. Nobody came and picked me up. Maybe it was because of the simple fact that your mom, like you said, and Roger, and your grandmother. I didn't even know that your grandmother and Grace were friends. That's something I just learned just now. But see, you did get that cookout.
Yeah, but
You did get that
that's your
barbecue.
mother's responsibility. My mom actually making sure that we still had a relationship. And to tell you the truth, Roger was never even included. So like that's just how it was. I mean, I've always known about your mom. I've always known about you my whole life. So I didn't go half of the stuff you don't know, I don't know either.
Geneva, but during those years, did you get picked up? Did you go to Grace's house? Or I don't know. I know we had some conversations before, and I feel like we could have had more.
The only time that would ever happen, honest, is if my aunt would come pick me up.
But why she wouldn't come pick me up?
I was begging.
You get what I'm
to
saying?
visit them.
You got picked up. Why not me? We both lived in the Bronx.
Exactly, but what kind of relationship did your mother have with them? I would not even have a relationship with them if my mother didn't have a relationship with them.
Right.
If they weren't best friends already, I would not have been in that situation either.
and
Because
that's
when
the sad
my
part
mom
of
broke
it.
up from him, yeah, like Grace never denied you.
Okay.
I feel like
So-
she did. So where was
And
where
you-
was
I
the
heard you
part
say-
about
I did
your
hear-
light skin and your dark skin and Roger's dark skin? What does complexion have to do
where
with
that
it?
came from, because I don't do the light skin, dark skin. We all
But
black,
Grace
we all
did.
colors.
But
But
Grace,
what I'm saying is, she never said that to me.
right?
I've never sat in her house and heard her say that.
You are his
So,
daughter. You
I
are my
mean,
sister.
I
That's
always
not something
considered
she would
you-
say to you directly. I don't think that's something that she would say. Oh well, Geneva, Taiwan is light skinned, so she might not be your sister. I don't think she
So
would
you
say
have
that
these
to
doubts
you.
because of your family. Nobody, I've never heard anybody say that, honest to God. Since I've lived here and she was alive and everybody was living, I go over there, they ask me if I heard from you because me and you started having a connection. My thing is, clearly you've known about Gerald and stuff your whole life. The stuff you said on that first show and the stuff you said now has been totally different. And I was a little
What's
upset
different
about it.
Wait. What's different about it in your opinion?
Okay. The first show, I recall you saying you didn't talk to him or see him till you was 16.
I
You
stayed with
still
him for
stayed-
30
you
days,
still-
and if I stayed with him for 30 days.
I wouldn't stay with nobody that I mean, I'm just saying you still stayed with him.
I never
You
said I
still
didn't
knew
stay with him.
Enough to, why would you stay with a total stranger?
Because my mom said
If
that
y'all
was my
ain't been
dad.
talking.
Don't-
Okay, but
at
you
that
said the
time,
whole
I didn't
you
have
had a
any place to
relationship with
stay.
Gerald.
So the
Did you
offer
not say
was
you had a whole, I mean, I understand that, but you also said you had a relationship with Gerald the whole time, right?
I did.
Growing up. Okay, so you had two people that you considered was your father. I never knew that. If he was alive right now, he would have never known.
He knew that. You think he didn't know that?
He knew that
when
he
I
never
lived
knew
in
that you was not his child. When he talked to me on the phone, and he was saying how he was just so happy to get his daughter back. I think by then he had connected with you first.
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay, I say that to say I never knew that there was a possibility of you never to be my sister until you told me that on
Well,
that
this is my
phone.
thing right here, because I'm
When you
hearing
told
a
me
lot,
that in that
I'm
message.
hearing a lot of what the effects of the trauma from Roger on both of y'all. And I think what's happening right now is you two as women are like now trying to put pieces together, and it's sort of like, well, I didn't know, and you didn't know, and I didn't know, and I didn't know, which I think we can all agree that Roger didn't do a good job of informing either of you or being there for either of you. And that is the point
Exactly.
of
I
it.
could agree on that.
And I think that's the reason why you didn't go to his funeral, is because you're like, I don't know this man. All I'm still hearing is the abandonment from Roger that y'all two are taking out on each other. Because the thing is that at the end of the day, I need you two to understand that this is about two people who were both abandoned. You both were hurting, and yet you're both looking at each other and saying, why didn't you make a better decision and be there for me? Why wasn't I picked up? Why weren't you there for me? Why didn't you, you're saying like, I'm not your sister, we talked, you're saying this. But the thing is that she's just telling you right now, Geneva, that she didn't know how to be there because she didn't know, she was abandoned. But when people have felt abandoned, they make choices from that abandonment. Just the same way you're making choices, and your choices are not wrong, Geneva, and your choices weren't wrong either. You were making choices to try to protect yourself, and you were trying to protect yourself from a man that's no longer here. And that's why it's important that this relationship gets mended and we get answers if you two are actually sisters. Are you two actually ready to find out if you're sisters?
I am.
Geneva, are you ready?
Yes.
Listen, I know there's a ping that's going on that we do need to get to. Let's listen to a message that we received from Taiwana's mother, Carol.
I told Tawana when she was little that Roger was always her father. She thought Skeeter was her father because Grace, who is Roger's mother, always told him that Tawana was not his daughter. I myself am 1,000% sure that Roger is Tawana's father.
Okay, we're ready.
Yeah.
Before I give you these, I do want to bring your son down, who's in the audience, and I want him to be here with his mom. You want to come down here and be with your mama right now? Come on, looking fresh to your polo. How you doing, man? The reason I'm bringing him down here is because I want to make sure that not only do you see that you have support and love from me, but you've started an amazing family. You've created, as a strong woman, even through your trauma, a young man that looks at you and he doesn't have any questions. But the time is here. Are you ready?
As ready as I'm gonna be.
All right, here you go.
Okay. It says Geneva is your sister.
That's your Auntie Geneva, by the way. Good. Okay. How are you feeling?
Relieved.
Yeah.
Still confused. I don't know why that rumor went around that Gerald was my dad when Roger was my dad the whole time. Just wish I could take some time back.
Yeah. You got to release that guilt, and I'm going to tell you why. Because somebody was there with him, and she's saying to you that she didn't even have that relationship. So what happens sometimes is we get plagued with the what if, what could have happened, what should have happened, but she's telling you she lived the alternate life that you're thinking in your mind, well, I didn't live it, and she didn't have it. Am I right, Geneva?
Exactly.
So right now, you can release that. The thing is what gift you did get was a relationship with Gerald, who I met, who did love you, who was there for you. So the universe constructed something for you in this moment, we don't know why, for you to at least get that. Because if Roger was around, unfortunately, you wouldn't have had it. And the reason we know that is because Geneva, I'm so sorry that you had to deal with that as a child. Geneva's telling you right now she didn't get it. But who can be there for you and who has been trying to be there for you, and you said you're gonna try even harder, is this woman right here.
Here I am.
Take those words I just said. Take those words. You go hang with Auntie Geneva. You ready for Auntie Geneva? You want to say something to your Auntie Geneva now? This your auntie?
I just feel like it's different now that I know that I have an aunt and I have cousins that I don't know yet, and I like to know them now.
Yeah. You excited to meet them?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on, where you going? I'll tell you where you're going. Right here to subscribe and right here to watch more. Period.